When in doubt, ask the experts. So we're happy to be launching People's Cafe Expert Panel because what's better than hearing it from the experts who've been there and done it all? Here, a panel of experts talk about things that matter in the world of business, corporate, education, your career, and your development. You can expect loads of trending talks on topics such as future of workplace, digital education, wellness, technology, and so much more. Today, we are going to be talking about digital education in times of pandemic. So, we're aware schools are slowly looking at technology as an opportunity to develop teaching methods and resonate with students on a technology level. Regardless of age, almost everyone owns a smartphone. Google is our library, and Wikipedia is our encyclopedia. Thesaurus is our dictionary, and Kindle is our textbook. Textbooks, homework, classroom notebooks, whiteboard, chalks, and markers are now history. Smart boards are introduced where teachers can drag and drop shapes, bring in online calculators on the board, measure with artificial reality tools, and voice out the text they want to see on the board. How practical is it to be disconnected from the digital world when students are way faster in terms of technology? It is time to collaborate teaching methodology with technology and make classroom sessions more lively and interesting. At a time like this, learning to change our teaching methods by incorporating technology is the only way to bring light to the lives of our students. Today, in our expert panel, we shall be talking about digital education in times of pandemic. And your takeaways include tips to leverage digital education for academic development of students and academicians. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our expert, Dr. Richa Prakash. She's an educator and founder principal of GD Goenka Public School, Firozabad. She has already spent over 18 years now in the education trajectory and is currently school leader with Allen House Group of Schools at Kanpur. She holds a PhD from Delhi University. And being a learner and a quester, her belief is that we can learn each day a little and grow little by little. Today, she will be sharing her ideas on digital education in times of pandemic for students, academicians, and parents of children. So, Dr. Richa, welcome again to Expert Panel at People's Cafe.
Thank you, Priyanka. Hello once again. Thank you for inviting me to share my experience at People's Cafe and this session today. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Lovely to have you here again, Dr. Richa. And let me start by asking a very pertinent question. You being an educator, what do you believe are the challenges that students are facing in times of this pandemic?
Well, we have all seen that the world of education has been metamorphosed, if I may say so.
Mhm.
And education, I think, has received a great impetus despite the turmoils that has been faced by most people. More than anything, I'll say that it has been a very difficult year for all of us. Some people, they have lost the people known to them.
Mhm.
Some people are facing economic difficulties, weddings have got postponed, and there has been a social isolation, and very importantly, children have missed their school. I think there's become a sort of a pandemic fatigue that has come into the children also, and into the entire ecosystem
Mhm.
of all of us.
Mhm.
So at that level, yes, there are a lot of challenges that the children are now facing. The first I feel is there is a sense of social isolation, which has seeped in now, because it's almost been 9 months of you know the virtual or hybrid learning, distance learning.
Mhm.
And I think we can rather simply call it probably the pandemic learning, the pandemic pedagogy
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
these days. So, because of that, there's been this fatigue in the children that can be seen in many of the sessions these days when they are coming for the online sessions, but loneliness, isolation, their attention span has also been affected now, because you see, this is also, earlier it was a structure that was being built, the home learning structure from school to home, but now that has also become a structure. It has become almost structured again, like schooling is structured.
Mm-hmm.
So the digital learning is also gone into a structured mode. So for children, I think it has set in a certain kind of a monotony, and because of all that, there is increasing disengagement happening with many children and many families, because we have to remember that we have parents as the cohorts. Parents have really supported, I think, world over,
Mm-hmm.
been there, seen that, and I think they've understood truly the value of a school in this pandemic, which
Mm-hmm.
was at times very doubtful for them. So we are seeing a certain dip in the attendance, assignment completions. Some children are totally closed about it. They are not because it's all about the blank screens, and the screen is black for the onlooker. So that has created, I think, at the level of connect that is required, that has raised another issue of that human connect. Children are looking forward. We of course have senior classes with the government's guidelines and permissions coming to school, and they are really happy. And you can see the way they have really valued, all this time, the idea of being connected is very valued by them now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the children are facing largely the social disconnect at this point in time, because you see, schooling is not just about education, it's
Mm-hmm.
also about building the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And in a physical classroom, nobody is doing work alone. That sense of loneliness has come, the group work, the group activities, which is more face to face. That is something, I think, is a challenge which the children individually are facing now.
I could so relate to that. And I really have to say, Dr. Richa, that children have been the more resilient lot in adapting to this new way of living, because even for us working professionals, work from home hasn't been easy. And as much
Absolutely.
as children, I think even us, the adults, have missed that social engagement so strongly, that feeling of bonding and going to
Mhm.
office and real life interactions. But really kudos to educators and folks like you who are doing their best to make sure that children are engaged even in such tough times. So
Truly so,
which
actually. Hmm. Sorry.
so sorry, you were making a point, please go ahead.
So I think in all, as much as the children have shown the resilience, I think teachers have really done an amazing job in building
Hmm.
community relationship and empowering their students. And this is happening almost every day. I mean, in the schools we see that how teachers are engaging, and how overnight they turned a physical classroom into a virtual classroom
Hmm.
seamlessly. So I think definitely, the challenges have been taken up, and this has opened a new world actually to digital education, and the
Hmm.
entire idea of being virtual and yet being able to connect.
Absolutely. Which brings me to our next question, that how has digital education evolved in the pandemic?
I would say that digital education was always there actually. It has just come to the fore front with this pandemic. Schools and teachers who had inhibitions about it, now we have lost all inhibitions.
Mhm.
In fact, as I said, that in our school, it was just an overnight, it was a Saturday, and by Sunday everybody was very well versed with the idea of being online, and Monday we started the classes, for example.
Mhm.
So it was just that inhibition, I think, and digital education has always been there.
Mhm.
Now I think we can say that technology is really, really helping and assisting in taking schools, and uh, the living room has come to life in
Mhm.
terms of education. Teachers are able to take very many creative risks and engage with the students. Lot of digital education tools that were out there, we have experimented, and we have experienced our evolution as an education community in learning. So this is something which has made even the parent community, the teachers, and the students very comfortable with this technology. Earlier, students obviously were not allowed to touch the phones for
Mhm.
any, I mean, definitely not for learning. It was not meant for learning. So now it has, opened that vistas of understanding that uh, the internet of things, you could say, and that mobile that you have, that smartphone you have, is actually a very empowering tool
Mhm.
if used correctly,
Mhm.
which is something which was otherwise a very tall task in those times, to explain to a parent that there is an
Mhm.
activity, group activity that your child is involved in, and you have to allow the child the time to be on the net and collect some material. And because children were not so frequently there, they would perhaps misuse also, maybe.
Mhm.
But now that children are in that mode, so this has allowed the parent to understand that you know the learning is so omnipotent and ubiquitous. It is everywhere, and this is digital education is something you cannot ignore. And I don't think any of us would be able to, and we shouldn't. We should take upon this opportunity of leveraging this entire gamut of digital education and bringing it to the schools almost seamlessly, as I would say.
Mhm. Mhm. I guess so, and which also reminds me that from the time that we were studying, and digital was just a concept unheard of, maybe in the late 90s or the early 2000s. And now the pace at which digital adoption is something which we just cannot do without. And now I want to ask you on that note that, how can this format of digital education be leveraged to sharpen the intellect of students and their personality development, their academic development?
See, CBSE has been focusing very intentionally on this competency based education.
Mhm.
And I think technology can really leverage us all towards that goal by the CBSE boards. Students can really use this as a self learning tool. You don't have to depend now on a teacher alone.
Mhm.
Teacher is a facilitator in the true sense of the word. They can go for self learning tools, for self assessments, peer assessments. There are platforms like Diksha, that is the digital infrastructure which has been provided for teachers and students both. Nishtha, which is utilized to learn and assess oneself. So these are some of the platforms given by CBSE, where you don't have to wait for a teacher to be able to you know inform you about everything.
Mhm.
The material is there. The flipped classroom learning can be easily facilitated now, and not at, I mean, it is like literally at a very negligible cost, one would say.
Mhm.
Of course, student has to take the initiative, and now the students are able to take the initiative to own their learning, I would say. And largely because in the times of the physical presence of children, the entire responsibility and onus was on the teacher. For
Mhm.
the learning of the child, the teacher was responsible alone. Teacher is indeed
Mhm.
responsible. But now I think there is that sense of ownership that has been instilled in the children, in being able to connect and be responsible for their own learning. There
Mhm.
are a lot of art integrated projects which can be literally very usefully and very carefully worked upon by the students, through this use of technology. There's a lot of content which is there online which can be curated by the children. A lot of, PowerPoint presentations that can be prepared by the children. You have a variety of tools which can be utilized and which are being utilized, like we in the school are using the Google Meet. We are using the Jamboard on the Google Meet. You
Mm,
have quiz areas like, Kahoot. You have tools like Padlet. All these are really helping, I think, in these times for the students to be able to leverage learning. If we move on to the teachers, of course teachers have shown that they are very resilient,
mhm,
and they have been able to use the technology despite the blank screens. They are able to, I think, manage it very well. They have been able to still, build a relationship, inculcate a sense of belongingness despite 9 months of being present digitally. So, flip learning model can be really utilized. We can have both synchronous and asynchronous learning, because now parents have lost their inhibition that, a child should not be given uh, any commodity, any technology in their hand. They will misuse it. They've
mm,
also seen that children are able to use it more, honestly and sincerely.
mhm,
So, there is so much of opportunity for students now to create content, like the way teachers are already creating content,
mhm,
videos, PPTs. Can be educational tools, can be used, educational resources can be, shared in the public domain for the larger benefit.
mhm.
So, I would say that, overall, this has been, you know, uh, a bad year, of course, a harsh and a difficult year, but each time, shows us that we are strong enough and we are able to face it. And I think we can all sort of raise a toast, or, share a trophy or an award for each one of us who has survived this year.
Absolutely. I think we all deserve like a medal for having survived one of the toughest years we'd ever seen. And on that note, Dr. Richa, I would like to just ask you on a concluding note, what would be some tips that you would like to leave students, academicians, and parents of children with?
Well, I think we should accept the technology, and we should not, once all this is over, perhaps, and children are coming to school physically, all of our children, I think we should accept the technology and help the children use it in a more sincere and an honest manner. Have faith in the children as you have kept faith now in the school and in the teachers. So parents, because play a very important role, and that is what they have shown already, that parent role is equally important, and they have a stake in the well-being of their child. So they must not fall back once things open up and children start coming to school. That level of coordination and connect with the school is very important by the parent. Children should be allowed the freedom and continue to be allowed the freedom to be able to use technology, both modes of synchronous and asynchronous learning.
Mhm,
And teachers indeed should not, out of this pandemic fatigue, fall back again on, the older mode of teaching and dependent on one software tool which would provide content for the smart board. Now we have outlived those moments where you have to depend on a software system where you will be, provided content. Now we can, curate content, we can make content, read more, learn more, and connect better. I think that is what I would suggest for everyone.
wow. Those were some real time valuable tips coming from Dr. Richa. And thank you, Dr. Richa. All of that information and knowledge that you shared with us is so relevant and meaningful. And I'm sure our students and their parents and the academicians are going to really benefit from this knowledge and the time that you took out to share with us. And on that concluding note, I would just like to add that this crisis, in a way, has come as a silver lining for institutes to take notice of the importance of digital learning and for them to finally understand that Such platforms can never substitute the conventional method of learning, but act as a perfect fallback option when things take a drastic turn, such as the crisis we are facing. And we need to understand that digital platform and technology is a tool which has made our life easier and has enabled us to communicate and demonstrate better. One of the major advantages of digital learning is it expanded learning opportunities for students, as Dr. Richa pointed out. The digital learning is extending learning opportunities so the students can grasp the fact that learning occurs various times and in several places, and digital learning will allow this varied learning opportunity. The present situational challenges thrown at schools has revealed opportunities and how they can rise and adapt to embrace the new cybernetic culture to become more effective collaborators and communicators. Only once we understand this would we be able to cover the distance left and consider ourselves pioneer in providing education outside the conventional classrooms. So once again, Dr. Richa would like to extend a note of thanks on behalf of People's Cafe. Thank you for making
Thank you,
time for the
Priyanka. Thanks a
participants.
lot for this opportunity to be able to speak to so many out there. Thank you.
Thank you.